Before I started with Modern Athlete, I just came back from an injury. I had meniscus surgery. So I already before then, I didn't really have a program that I was consistent with until I started seeing Modern Athlete stuff online, and it just drew my attention, just the type of workouts that I think I started watching Instagram by think it's one of the coaches, Brandon, and I just kind of like the way that was kind of set up and how he was talking about it. So that's when I started looking into his stuff, and then saw Modern Athlete and went straight to that. The specific needs that I was looking for, that made me look into Modern Athlete, was just like looking into the tactical workouts. And since I'm a officer, I needed something that just made me feel strong and then made me feel fast. And like I said earlier, like I didn't have anything that specific for me. It was something like I'm gonna go hit kettlebells or like a hit workout or something. Uh, So that's all I had at the moment. One of the biggest challenges before going with Modern Athlete is I didn't have a like my nutrition was probably the worst. I know that like if I am given a workout, I know I can do it. I know like the physical side is I try my hardest, but as far as like the nutrition side, and that to me that was the hardest part. You see so many things online and telling you what to do and not to do, and then you try everything, and you end up knowing nothing. Um, so that, and then obviously I got to learn through Modern Athlete, uh, also how to work out, which sometimes you just think you just go hard every session, and that's it. One of my goals was I wanted to, like I said earlier, like I wanted to feel stronger and get faster. Like as far as like specific goals, I wanted my run time down. I've always had this, like ever since getting out of the Marine Corps, I've always set that standard to the time that I used to get in the Marine Corps. And now that I'm older and I'm out, like that's still my same standard. And every year I was flying further away from it. So that was one of my biggest goals, because I knew that, I needed to be faster. I needed to run long and not get winded. As far as lifting, I wanted to, get my squat up, my bench, and my deadlifts. I knew those were main components that were going to make me stronger. So those were my goals. The way Modern Athlete helped me to get over like some of my challenges that I was meeting. Like I said earlier, I had a surgery. So like I had a huge mind block of trying to get through a workout and think that I was going to get injured again. Like I was coming back. I seeked Modern Athlete like a week after my PT was over. I started Warfighter, and I didn't know how to push myself. I didn't know how far to go. So working with Coach Andy, I like it was there was some stuff that he was, and also like the what are those called, the things that you do week by week, looking through the lessons and then talking with Coach Andy. There's things about injuries that you start to get to know your body, and feel what an injury is, feel what like you're gonna get hurt. Is also working with Coach Andy was like I thought my form had always been good. Like my form was not the best. So he kind of just helped me out through that, and just kind of fixing it, sending me videos, sending me articles was a great help. Yeah, one of the key experiences that as I went through Modern Athlete, so ever since like my first week, I wanted to get in a foot pursuit, because I knew that was like that's when I knew it was gonna like how I was doing. There was a real life scenario that I wanted. The numbers on the in the gym were great. It's a great goal. It was a great goal for me, but I think I wanted to test it out on the streets. obviously we can't choose when we get in a foot pursuit, but there was a time, I think it was about 2 months in to my training with Coach Andy, and my run times were starting to get better, and I started to feel better. I was training a recruit, and then we go out and we're looking for the suspect. We end up finding him. I tell my recruit to go out on him, and my recruit, starts putting his hands behind his back, and the dude just takes off running. As we take off running, we're sprinting, and like I see my recruit, and I'm like kind of stop a little bit so he can get ahead of me, and from there we're running. I don't hear my recruit saying anything on the radio, so I start calling it out. We run down a block into another block, and we start going kind of uphill during that block. From there, the guy like starts taking off his hoodie, and in my head, I'm like, okay, this dude's tired already. He's like trying to take off weight, even if it's just a little bit. So I'm still going, and in my head the whole time, I'm like, I'm good. Like I can go a little bit longer. And he ends up giving up. We put him in handcuffs, walk him back to our car. And the whole time I'm like looking at my recruit, and he is tired. And he just came out of the academy. So he's like tired, and he's a smaller kid, good, like great shape. You can tell he's in shape. And he's just sweating and breathing really hard. And I'm thinking like that just looking at him, I'm like, I'm probably that tired. I'm probably that sweaty. And I like look at myself and I'm like, oh, I'm good. I'm breathing fine. And then I tell him to pick up some stuff, and he's like, all right, well, I'm gonna go pick it up. And he grabs it. And then right before he grabs the guy's stuff, he just starts puking. And that I think proved to me I was so excited. I immediately texted Coach Andy and I was like, hey, like we just got a foot pursuit. Like I completed my goal, and I knew that I can push a lot harder and a lot longer during that foot pursuit. So before starting with Modern Athlete, I did not have any hesitations. For me, it was the biggest selling point to me was that I did the application. I knew from looking at the Instagram, like there was no fluff. There wasn't anything like they're telling you you're gonna look good and you're gonna do all this like you do on Instagram. I'm the type of guy like you tell me like what you do, and if you try to sell me on it and do some other stuff like uh, you're gonna lose my attention. I filled out the application. I talked to somebody, and he was just like, "Hey, did you watch the video?" Yeah, he kind of got to know a little bit about me, and he said pretty much just asked, like, "Are you wanting to do this in a sense?" And I was like, that I was already gonna do it anyway, but just the fact that he wasn't like trying to push me or anything like that, I was like, okay, this is my thing. Like that's the reason why I joined the Marine Corps because every other branch was like, oh, we'll get you to college, we'll get you to this, and we'll get you the money and the bonuses. And the modern athlete was a lot like the Marine Corps in that sense that they were just like, hey, this is what we do, and it's not for everybody. If you're wanting to do it, then this is for you. And that's that's that drew a lot to me because I knew that at that point, like these guys are about it. So no skepticism, no hesitation. My overall experience with modern athlete has been, I think it's the best thing that I've done, the best investment that I've done. Obviously, going into it, I think for the most part, the biggest thing for people, I think because I know I've done it is the money. How much is it going to cost? How much is it going to do this? Until I really thought to myself, like, what am I really spending my money on? I'm spending my money on, workout clothes. I'm spending my money on workout shoes. Every time New Year's happens, I'm spending money on gym stuff and gym equipment and everything. And um, at by the end of the year, I'm not doing any of that. So at the end of the day, I'm spending the same amount of money or more, or actually way more than what I'm than when you get a program. And this program has been, I think, the best thing I've done. As far as the nutrition side, I know a lot more about nutrition. I know how to fuel my workouts. I know that, carbs aren't bad, and I used to be scared of eating fruit because it had so many carbs or something. And it was like, started realizing that You need all of that. You need to feel your workouts. And for me, like aesthetics was also like it's a driving point. But at the end of the day, like I know now that my performance is what I care about. I've started to just day by day just look better and fit better into my clothing just by worrying about my workouts and how I do that. And it's like I get people now like, hey, what are you doing? You're looking a little bigger and you're looking like you're in better shape. It's like working with Coach Andy was just also the like just smooth and easy. It's every week I got to talk to him. We fixed my form. My squat's been up. I think I was looking at it when I did the Warfighter. I was doing like 185 for three. I think we jumped up like to 295, doing some squats. My bench went up. I think like what my max was. Started, I think my last like workout was I'm pushing that same weight. I'm repping that weight that my max was, and my deadlifts have gone also up. My form, like now, I know that I have way better form. I'm not gonna get injured, and that was all thanks to Coach Andy. It's just super smooth. Check-ins on the during the week, and run times. My run time went from I think it was like 27:50 down to 24, 20, 24, 24, I think it was. I
Oh,
could have about 3 minutes. So, and that's consistently going to get better. I think after that foot pursuit, we also implemented vest runs because um, that kind of drove my goal to say, hey, now I don't want to just be faster on my 3 mile. I want to be faster in a vest. So we implemented that, I think, immediately that same week. And the workouts are great. Like there's some tough workouts in there, but it's not anything that you're gonna feel like you can't work out for the next 2 days. I think the coaches do a really good job to kind of know that you have a job to do at the end of the day, and the workout's still gonna help you perform as I told you in my story. Um, and I don't think there was a day where I was like, oh, I can't walk for the next 3 days. Yeah, I got a little sore, but it's nothing crazy, And would I recommend Modern Athlete 100%? I'm doing it with my friends already. I'm, telling them about the program, telling them about the program that I went through, and also, getting them into like the warfighter stuff on that. So it's 100% recommended if you're thinking about it. If you're like even on the edge, just pull the trigger, just do it. It's uh, I have gone through so many workout programs. I've never been like, I'll do some for a month and then I'm done because I think that, you know, I'm tired, I'm bored of that program. And then I move on to the next one. And then I start doing jujitsu and I stop lifting. And then I think running is my goal. And then I stop lifting. And then I think running is not my goal. And then I continue lifting. And modern athlete is you do you know, you can still lift heavy and you can still run. And if you talk, me talking to Coach Andy is still, you can still learn how to implement your workouts, your jujitsu, your other type of training, and it's all going to complement each other. As long as you have that health. So 100%, I would recommend it.